Many years ago, in a small quiet village named Ihiala, where mist drifts between palm trees and the smell of early dew mixes with the earthy scent of the land, there lived a girl named Chinasa, a quiet young girl with striking eyes. Chinasa was a calm girl that always stays in her room, spending time alone. But there was something that bothers her. She was always having nightmares, something that seems like she was seeing the future. But anytime she wakes up, she just brushes it off, saying it's just a dream. One afternoon, while Chinasa was sleeping, she saw her mother tripping over a pot on their stairway, spilling the hot contents all over her body, and the bruises were severe. She woke up from the dream looking very worried, as she kept on wondering what was wrong with her. Because no day passes by without her having weird dreams, seeing people she knows or people she does not know. What is wrong with me? Why do I always have weird dreams? Am I having malaria and typhoid? Why can't I just sleep in peace without having nightmares? She said to herself, sitting on her bed. When she stood up and was about going to eat herself, she saw her mom wearing the same dress she saw her wearing in her dream. And the most scary part of it was that she was carrying the same pot that was filled with soup and walking down the stairs. She stood behind her mom looking at her as she was walking down the stairs. She stared at her mom to know if her dream would come to pass. But her mother Adobe went down the stairs and entered the kitchen. Chinasa then sighed and said to herself, thank God, I said it. It's just a dream. Dreams don't come to pass. But as she was about to leave, she heard her mom screaming from the kitchen in a loud voice. Chinasa quickly rushed to the kitchen, only to see her mother on the floor, with the pot of soup spilled everywhere and also pouring her on her right hand. Adobe had tripped from a water that poured on the kitchen tiles that was not cleaned. They rushed her to the hospital and she was treated. When they returned back home, Chinasa sat on her bed, trying to process the whole thing that just happened. Wait though, is it my dream that came to pass or what? No, it can't be my dream. My mom fell on the stairs in my dream, but in reality, she fell in the kitchen, so it can't be my dream. She said to herself, nodding her head. The memories of that day haunted Chinasa. She had seen it happen in her dream moments before. Her mother's fall, exactly as she had seen, came to pass. As months went by, Chinasa's vision continued. Sometimes it was unsettling, leaving her struggling with an inner world she seemed not to understand. But she would always brush it off, telling herself it's just a dream. She would wonder if it's just a gift, or maybe a blessing, or a curse. As she decided to tell her mom about her dreams. Mama, there's something very important I want to tell you, she said, looking at her mother straight into her eyes. I think I see the future. Anytime I have a dream about something, it always comes to pass. Adobe, who was holding a tray, sitting on a chair in the living room, looked at her daughter and burst into laughter as she said to her, Joseph the dreamer. Please, Chinasa, don't just make me laugh. You will not kill me, this girl. Chinasa the seer, she said, still laughing. Mama, nah, it's not funny at all. I am being serious. I see things in my dream, and they always come to pass. Last 2 months, when you spilled the soup in the pot and it poured on you, I saw it exactly the same way in my dream. And ever since then, I keep having weird dreams, Chinasa said, looking worried. But Adobe smiled and said to her, Chinasa, my daughter, just calm down, okay? Dreams are just fantasies. Maybe it's just your imagination, okay? It's nothing serious. And dreams don't come to pass. So whenever you have any bad dream, just brush it off. Adobe said, looking at her daughter Chinasa, who still looked very worried. But Mama, they look so real, Chinasa said. Madam, please, leave me alone. Let me pick these beans in peace. Oh, do you want to cook this food? Chinasa the dreamer, she said, dismissing her. However, Chinasa's dreaming did not stop as she even kept on having more weird dreams. One night, while she was sleeping, she saw a house opposite theirs on fire. The fire was too strong that no one was able to escape. And she also saw herself pushing a wheelbarrow filled with human bone skeletons. Chinasa jumped up from her bed panting. The dream felt so real as she began to cry. She struggled to shake off the feeling and forget about the dream, but it was no ordinary vision as everything felt so real. My God, what is going on with me? Am I a witch or what? Why do I keep having rubbish negative dreams? At least if I would dream, let me have good dreams. Like where I find money piled up in a secret corner. That one would be better now. Not these scary ones, she said to herself, sighing, as she laid on her bed but couldn't sleep. Who will I tell this to now and the person will believe me and not call me a crazy person? Anyways, it's just a dream, she said to herself as she finally brushed it off. Few weeks later, while Chinasa was returning back from an errand, she could hear loud screams from afar and ambulance rushing towards their building. When she finally went closer, she saw the building opposite their house burnt to the ground, and nobody was able to survive. Dead, burnt bodies were being carried out of the building by firefighters. Chinasa stood there watching the chaos as people were weeping, mourning the death of their loved ones. She was so confused and scared as she went inside their house, going straight to her room. My God, what is going on? Am I a witch? Did I kill these people? Why did everything I see in my dream happen in reality? Exactly the same way I saw it. Tears began to stream down her eyes as she coiled up in a corner shaking. After crying for like 20 minutes, she stood up and went to the parlor where her parents were sitting and told them she saw what happened earlier in her dream. But her mother Adaobi looked at her angrily as she said to her, "Please just don't start. This is not the right time for this. We are trying to mourn people here," she said, sounding very angry. "Chinasa, are you still having visions?" her father asked. "Yes, Papa, I am. It's really driving me crazy. I don't think or behave like a normal human being anymore. I am so scared and confused," Chinasa said, crying. "Just calm down. I already told you dreams are fictions. They are not real, for goodness sake," her father replied. "But Papa, mine is real. Most of my dreams always come to pass. In fact, 85%, if not more, of my dreams come to pass," Chinasa said, sounding very worried. "Why is it that no one wants to listen to me or believe what I am saying?" "Chinasa, how do you expect us to believe you? Are you trying to tell me you see and predict the future?" This girl, her father asked. "I am not saying I see the future. All I am saying is that my dreams always come to pass," she said, leaving her parents as both of them did not want to hear her out. "Are you sure this girl don't have typhoid and malaria? When last was she treated?" Adobe's husband asked, looking at his wife, who laughed and told him not to worry about Chinasa, that she's just having weird imaginations. As time went on, Chinasa's dream did not stop as she kept on seeing weird things in her dream. One day, while sleeping, she saw her father involved in a very serious motor accident that claimed his life. She jumped up from her bed that morning as she rushed to her father to tell him not to go to work. "Papa, please don't go out today. I had a very bad dream that you were involved in a motor accident and died instantly at the spot," Chinasa said, crying. Her father looked at her very confused as he did not know what to say. He saw the fear in Chinasa's eyes and how terrified she looked. "Chinasa," he said with a calm voice as he smiled at her, "nothing will happen to me. I promise you, I will return back home safely, okay? Chinasa's mother, Adobe, who overheard everything, came to the parlor as she began to scold her. Chinasa, can you please stop all this rubbish? You are beginning to put fear in us. What is even your problem? This will be the first and last time you will say this again. If you have any dream, please keep it to yourself and leave us out of it. Adobe said as she told her husband to go to work. He then turned to Chinasa as he kissed her forehead, wiping her tears, telling her he would come back home safely. That evening, Chinasa waited patiently for her father to return, as it was already time for him to come back home. Throughout that day, she kept on bombarding him with calls and text messages, just to ensure he was okay. When it was 8 p.m., the time he normally comes back from work, she waited patiently, looking at the doorknob. She even tried calling him, but his line was not available. She began to panic, praying and hoping that nothing has happened to her father. It was now 9 p.m. and he was still not back. Adobe called her husband, but his line was not available. She even called some of his work colleagues, who told her he left the office 3 hours ago. Why is your father's number not available? And besides, he should be back by now. His work colleague told me that he left the office 3 hours ago, she said, looking at Chinasa, who looked very worried. They waited patiently on their seats, hoping he returns back home safely, when a newscaster came up on TV announcing there was an accident at the bridge and a car had lost brake control and somersaulted into the river, but was dead already before he was rescued. They brought his picture on TV, and lo and behold, it was Adobe's husband that was the dead victim. Adobe could not believe her ears as she began to scream, shouting on top of her voice. My God, why me? Oh, why me? What kind of temptation is this? Chinasa sat on her chair mute as tears began to flow down her eyes. As she whispered within herself, I am a witch. I killed my father. Yes, I killed him. My weird premonition killed him. The following week, Chinasa's father's burial was fixed. Adobe could not believe her husband was laying in state in a casket. She looked at him feeling very sad and angry at the same time, as she said to herself, I should have listened to Chinasa, my daughter. At least this wouldn't have happened, but I doubted her dreams. Chinasa, on the other side, who was standing by her father's grave wearing a black dress, felt like jumping into his grave. She was so sad and looked so pale. After the burial was over, Adobe called her daughter as she began to ask her some questions. Chinasa, these your dreams. Since when did you start to have them? She asked. It was since I was 15 years old. Whenever I have the dream, it looks so real and will always come to pass. Chinasa replied, looking sad. My daughter, I am very sorry for doubting you, saying your dreams were imagination. Adobe apologized. Shebi, when I was saying it to you and also telling Papa, you both ignored me. Now Papa is dead and you now believe everything I was saying. Chinasa said, sounding very unhappy. My daughter, I am so sorry. I wished I believed you. This wouldn't have happened. At least I would have stopped your father from going to work. Please forgive me, Adobe pleaded. Mama, it's okay. If I was you, I would do the same thing too, Chinasa replied, smiling. Few days later, Chinasa had a bad dream about her mother, sleeping in the bathroom and dying instantly. She told her mom about it, who believed her immediately and was very scared to go into the bathroom. Look, Chinasa, I think this is getting out of hand. We need to see a pastor. At least he can help us well to interpret why you always have premonition, Adobe said, looking at Chinasa. Yes, Mama, that's a good idea. I think we need to see a pastor. I am already tired of this. Every day, I go to bed very scared, praying not to have a dream. And the annoying part is that I always have negative dreams. Chinasa replies, sounding worried. No more long talks. Just dress up. Let's go and see our pastor. As they both dressed up and left, when they arrived at his office, they explained everything to him. As he then asked Chinasa if she ever prays anytime she has a bad dream. No, I don't. I just only wish it does not come to pass, she replied. You see? You just don't see negative things in your dreams and ignore it. As a Christian, when you see a bad thing in your dream, you wake up and pray over it. You have to decree and declare, command the dream not to come to pass. For God has given us the power and authority to speak and it will come to pass. Chinasa, whenever you wake up and you have any nightmare, pray over it and I promise you, it won't come to pass. There are some dreams that are not from God, but from the devil who puts fear in us, making it to come to pass. He then joined hands with them as they all prayed together. And that was how Chinasa's premonition began to stop. And whenever she do have any bad dream, she ensures she prays about it. Hi besties! We've come to the end of this amazing story. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. I would like to know your thoughts about the story. I would like to know if you've ever experienced anything like this, having dreams that come to pass. Let me know in the comment section. And you believe in premonition? Also, let me know in the comment section. Please and please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do it free. And remember to like and share my videos to your loved ones. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I'll see you in my next story. Bye.